What is going on, Leo? This is Chris Anthony coming at you guys live and direct, and this is going to be your reading for the month of July. So we got a lot of things happening in July. It's Cancer season. We got the eclipse coming in, solar eclipse on July 2nd. That's definitely going to be a powerful one, especially with all the readings that I've done already. The cards are kind of speaking about a closeout, and the eclipse energy always closes out certain cycles in our lives, right? And then with the closeout, it's always a new beginning. So we're going to hop into your energies and see what's going on, Leo. This is going to be a general reading, and it may not resonate with everyone. If it does resonate with you, though, do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things that help the channel out in some type of way. If it doesn't resonate with you, check out your rising or moon sign or one of the previous readings that I did for Leo. Energy is fluid, so you may connect with those, all right? Other than that, if you guys are not already following me on IG, you should. That's Chris Anthony 14LBS, Chris Anthony 14 pounds. I post daily there. That'll be in the description of the video if you didn't get that. Also, I have personal readings open. If you guys want to get a more personal experience for your situation, email me about that. That'll be in the description of the video. Also, let's hop right in. This is going to be your present energy right here. Leo, what's happening? Then after that, we're going to be hopping into your futuristic energy. This will be your supporting details of the story. This is the main story right here, though. So let's see what's going on. Now, Leo, you got a Ten of Swords clarified by the Two of Wands at the crowning of your reading. And guys, excuse me, I do have people working on the roof. So hopefully that doesn't come out too loud in the video. But if you hear some banging around, that's what it is. Also, excuse my cards. I think the Right-Away Tarot is kind of getting old and used. I may have to update to another one, but I like old and used things. I don't know. Let's go. Ten of Swords energy here. What I was feeling when I was looking at your whole spread is that, Leo, you guys are in a place of major maturation. Like, the maturity is just coming off of the cards. I feel like in the month of July, this is a time for you to kind of like watch the sunset. And I feel like a lot of you guys are just going to be pausing in the month of July because you're just going to feel this energy coming in of really a close out of a era in your life. Like even more so than a cycle, more so than a season. It's almost like a era that's being closed out in your life, and you're really taking the time to just kind of pause. You're taking the time to think about all the lessons that you've learned, all of the things that you've been through, all of the people that you've, bumped into and learned things from, and the hard lessons and the good lessons and the darkness and the hurt and the pain and the joy, everything that happened in this last era of your life that you've been in. You're kind of taking the time to let the sun set on it, because it is a major closeout that's happening with these Ten of Swords and your Two of Wands here. You're definitely crossing over into this new portal, into this new gateway, this opening that's happening for you, Leo. Into the next phase of life is what it is, because you've passed the lessons of this older place that you've been in. You've been in a place of training and almost like boot camp energy, right? Where you just really had to do the groundwork for your spiritual evolution, for your self-development, in order for you to go into this next phase of life. And the picture of this guy kind of laying here with the swords in his back is almost like your ego. I feel like you had so many ego deaths that you went through, right? These lessons, these scenarios that came into your life where you just had to learn from them, and they were not fun, is what I'm feeling like, Leo. But they were needed. And I think you're coming to a place of acceptance. You're coming to a place of understanding your journey and understanding the things that you've been through. And it's kind of like I said, the sun is setting on this old past cycle that you've been in, and you're just watching it set. Like you're really taking it all in. You're having this reminiscing type of vibe in the month of July. Like the sun will be out, it might be some beautiful scenes. You may, wherever you live at, you may be outside enjoying yourself, right, in the evening or in the daytime. And I just see some of you guys just really going into a place of reminiscing, remembering, right? Everything that you've been through up until this point, because deep down you could feel that you're crossing over into this new place, right? Even if nothing has happened physically, like you may not be moving from a place. Some of you guys are, because you do have the chariot energy here under your deck. But even more so on a deeper spiritual level, you know that you're passing from one place of the journey into the next, and your ego has evolved to a certain place that you don't even have to learn the same lessons, the soul lessons that you've learned before. You've passed them all with flying colors, and now you get to just watch this cycle close out and cross over into this new place, Two of Wands energy, right? This new direction that you're headed into, that you've been having your sights set on for a while now. And it's into a place of more expansiveness, right? Abundance, a place of a lighter energy, right? Less stressful, where you don't have to learn those hard lessons anymore. Now you're putting the lessons you've learned into practice, and it's creating a newer type of life for you, a new quality of life, a new place of vibration where your energy is at, right? You're vibrating on a different frequency now, because you went through the chambers, the channels, right, of learning all these harder lessons and kind of recalibrating your frequency. Now you've crossed over into this portal, right? This portal has a lot to do with balance, right? You have, like I said, retuned your energy. Wait a second, because it's so loud outside right now. Let me see if they will calm down for a second. Goodness. All right. So you're coming into this place of balance. Like I said, you've been retuning your energy. The universe has kind of been working with you. Your spiritual team, your spirit guides, right, have been working with you to tune your energy into a place, right? Tune your emotions, retune your thoughts, reprogram, right, your mainframe computer. All of the old programming that was running on you, right, needed to be kind of like done away with, and the new uploads, the software updates had to come on to you, right? That's what I see that was happening in the Ten of Swords energy. And so now you've come into a place of balance with your inner world, right? The Temperance card always talks about us balancing our inner world so that it affects our external world. And we have, the perfect mirroring going on, right? Because your external world does mirror what's going on internally for you. So you've come into this new place of balance, this new place of vibrancy, right? Frequency, waves. And it's so new for you. It's kind of like you're ready to take this leap. You're ready to take this jump, but at the same time, you're kind of almost looking back. Not that you want to stay in the old cycle, but you just are appreciative of where you've come. Like when you're at a place of, let's just say, somebody who's graduating from college, and they're walking across the stage, right? And they have on their cap and gown, and they're being handed their degree. It's like you're taking it all in at that point, at that moment that you're in, when you're walking across this threshold. And you almost, are just thinking about the past, like, wow, it's actually over. Like, this cycle is over. Like, all the studying that I had to do, all of the social gathering events, all of the classes that I had to take and struggle with, all the nights that I was up, like to 4 a.m. trying to study for this midterm or this final exam. This is, the example that I'm giving, but symbolically, this is what's happening in your life. And you almost just, like, you just want to just stay there for one last moment and take it all in, because what's happening next is like you being thrusted into the real world, like with the analogy of the student. The student studies hard, is in this place of kind of like a lot of pressure, but also in a place of incubation, and they're not in the real world yet, right? For you, it's the same. It's like you've been in this place of a lot of pressure and hard lessons, but you have been in incubation, right, by the universe. And now you know that moving forward, you're moving into a place of like the real world almost. Is like where you have to use all the lessons that you've learned, and now you have to apply all this knowledge. And now it's like, to whom much is given, much is required. You almost feel that. So you're taking the time to just appreciate this older cycle that you were in, even though you don't want to stay there. You can appreciate what it has developed in you, and how it has led up to this moment of graduation for you. All right, so the world card, this is where you're being thrusted into the world, going out into this expansiveness, going out into this kind of authenticity of yourself, this transparency that you now must have and hold, and this new vibrational, frequency that you're on and you're vibrating on, and it's going to be attracting to you newer environments, newer people, newer scenarios, newer places in the matrix is almost what I'm feeling like. You're going to a different part of the mainframe of the matrix, right? This place that we're in, right? This almost this galaxy, this reality, this simulation, right, that we're in. We have to kind of it's levels to it. I don't know how else to explain it, but for you, it's like you are moving into this next locality that is inside of the matrix, right? In so many ways, you're breaking free from a certain part of the matrix, but now you're going into this other part of the matrix. And I'm not trying to get too deep in, and confuse you, Leo, but it's like you no longer have the frequency to vibrate in this older place of the matrix, of this reality. And now you're being teleported almost through vibration into this new place where it's almost like a lighter, higher vibe, right? So now, and I think I talked about this in the Gemini reading too. You guys have a lot of crossover with them, I think, in the month of July. But so now you're having like you have a stronger gravitational pull about your energy. So you no longer can stay in this small, lower vibrational energy of training and boot camp. Now you have to go out on a mission, right? And your gravitational pull is so much stronger and heavier now that you're attracting more lighter energies, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making sense or not, but this is what's happening. And you're going into these new places inside of the matrix where you're getting a chance to kind of like show what it is that you have. You're getting a chance to display all the upgrades that you have, right? The gifts that have been kind of uncovered in your time of the dark night of the soul, or in your time of the lessons and learning. Now you get to apply what it is that was being developed inside of you. And this is the next place that you're in, right? You're going to like the four corners of the world. This is what is represented in this world card. And now you're going to be coming into contact with certain people. You're coming in contact with an audience almost. Even if you're not doing anything, right, online or in the open or in the public, you still will have a certain audience of people that you're coming in contact with, and they want to see what it is that you have, and you connect with them on a certain frequency, right? Vibrational level. And they're going to be drawn to your gravitational pull. They are orbiting around you, like these new scenarios, this new place that you've attracted into your orbit. Because now your gravitational pull is a lot more heavier and stronger. Your presence will be a lot more heavier and stronger. You have to attract bigger, larger things. You have more space and more capacity now, is what I'm picking up, Leo. So you're attracting new beginnings, emotional fulfillment. Ace of Cups here. You're attracting a larger capacity of love, a larger capacity of emotional fulfillment. Now you can feel on a deeper level, right? You can obtain things that you were wishing for in the past, but you weren't ready to receive in the past because you hadn't cleared out enough capacity inside of your being, right? Your capacity was low. The space on your computer was not in a place to receive some of the things that you were wishing for and wanting and desiring until you did the work. Now you've done the work though. So now these upgrades are coming in, these rewards are coming in, your space is a lot more larger, so things will be attracted to your energy. Things can now come into your orbit. People can come into your orbit. New love can come. I'm looking at love with the Ace of Cups, so definitely you're going to be running into some soulmates in this next cycle of your life. It may be the soulmate that comes in, but I'm definitely just seeing an opportunity to attract soulmate type of energy. And I'm not talking about that soulmate that teaches you those hard lessons. I'm talking about the soulmate that matches your energy. The soulmate that's here for your enjoyment. All right. But this is just generally what you're attracting, what you're able to attract. All right. And then you have the Four of Pentacles here, clarified by the Seven of Wands. Four of Pentacles is kind of like this closed off energy. Seven of Wands is kind of like a defensive type of energy. But with you moving on into this new cycle, I feel like, especially with the Four of Pentacles, this is just a level of focus that you're coming into this new cycle with. A level of preparation, a level of mastery. Because this person has this pentacle balanced on his head, right? And is sitting in a place of power, in a place of focus. This person is focused. And I feel like you're coming into this next cycle with a certain level of focus and mastery, right? And a certain level of defense for the distractions that kind of, always are wanting to come in to kind of throw you off of your path, throw you off of your trail, throw you off of the journey. You've done the work to kind of expel those certain things that were the habits, the old bad habits that got you off of your journey, got you off of path, the attachments that made you slow down, right? It made you be in more lower frequencies. You have killed those things off, is what I feel like. You've done the work. This is what I keep picking up, Ten of Swords energy. So you're going to kind of start to see that the old struggles, the old fighting off and having to just do more of the work is kind of just fading away, shedding away with this World card here. You're just passing through this portal, and all this stuff right here that you had to fight so hard for is being cut off with it, right? So you are going into the new cycle kind of closed off a little bit, kind of on the defense, because you're like, okay, what's next? What do I have to do next? What is this next level about? Who do I need to fight? Who do I need to, right? And you're just alert. You're coming into it with a level of alertness. Is what I'm picking up a little bit. But you're going to start to soon see you don't have to have the same level of alertness because you are in a new place. And so your guards will kind of drop a little bit as you start to pass on into this newer cycle that you will find yourself in, Leo, coming into the month of July, because this eclipse energy is very strong and monumental and important. Pay attention to it July 2nd and the weeks following, right? Because you're going to feel a certain shift energetically. Like, you're almost going to be able to feel this physically, like you being able to kind of let go a little bit. And also, oh man, I'm feeling like almost like that Phoenix rising type of energy with you guys, Leo. Like, And it's crazy. It's funny too because yesterday I watched the latest X-Men movie, about the Phoenix. And the crazy thing that was happening, and I'm going to kind of, make this quick, but tell you kind of like the summary of the story that most of you guys may know. But Jean Grey, is one of the mutants, on the X-Men. And she is also the Phoenix, right? But she came in touch with this Phoenix energy on this movie, right? When they went out into space, and she, was helping out on a space mission and came in contact with this Phoenix energy, this like powerful energy. Um, but the thing that was happening and the thing that kind of unfolded in the movie was that she was destined to come in contact with this Phoenix energy because she was the only one that could contain this energy inside of her being. No one else could. So this energy was just floating around, out in the open, just kind of like destroying things and just not able to have a container until it came into contact with Jean Grey. But the moral of the movie and what was happening was that Jean Grey, when she was smaller, she came in contact with Professor X, and Professor X had to set up certain blockages in her mind, certain barriers in her mind, because she wasn't able to control her gift, right? She wasn't able to control her high level of telepathy and all these other different gifts that she had. So as a child, he had to kind of like set up certain barriers so she could have a regular life, right? Because she was all out of control and she would have caused a lot of damage, because her gift was so powerful. And she wasn't able to control it at the age that she was yet. And this is really matching your reading, Leo. I feel like this is where you've kind of been at a place where the universe had to kind of place certain barriers and certain blocks inside of your life, inside of your psyche almost, because you weren't really at a place yet to handle this large amount of energy that you possess, especially being a Leo, like the lion, right? Powerful, fiery energy that you possess. So this is where you've been at, right? A place of kind of closed off. The barrier was there, like the walls were up. There was certain amount of blockages, right? And so, but now there's kind of like an unlock that's happening because now you're in a place where you can handle it. But you will feel the crossover, right? Of this new energy that comes in with the eclipse. Like you will feel the uneasiness. This is what was happening with Jean Grey. She felt a certain level of uneasiness crossing over into this Phoenix energy because before she connected with the Phoenix or became the Phoenix, she was just regular Jean Grey, and she had the barriers set up in her mind to keep her kind of under control, under check a little bit until she matured enough. But what was I talking about at the beginning of this reading? The level of maturity has come in. The sun has set. Now there's kind of like an unlocking that's happening energetically with you, Leo. And you're stepping out into this new energy, this new powerful, fiery, passionate energy frequency, right? And the barriers are just falling away that kind of was set up in your life. And so you'll just feel that crossover. I just wanted to tell you that story because I think it definitely matches what's going to be happening with you in the month of July, Leo. So let's check out your futuristic energy and see what's going on. You have the Six of Pentacles here. You have the Knight of Swords. You have the Hermit card. And then you have the King of Wands. So with the Six of Pentacles, I feel like this is another thing that's happening with the balancing. This is what I was feeling with the Temperance card. It's kind of like a balancing that's happening, a balancing act that's taking place with one cycle ending and another cycle beginning in your life, with you switching over from one frequency over to the next. It's kind of like you're changing radio stations. And so if you were in a place where you were in this hangman position, kind of like just hanging there, becoming enlightened, incubating, going through your lessons in life, clearing your karma, right? Looking at life in newer perspectives, finding out what the true nature of reality is. You were giving into this one place of your development. Now there's kind of like a crossover happening, and you're coming out of the hangman position. You're now being turned right side up, right? And the dial is being switched over. So you come out of the hangman energy into the world energy. Expansive, transparent, authentic, spiritual gifts, on blast, Phoenix rising type of energy. So yeah, this is the balancing, the tuning that's happening. And while you're being switched out of that hangman energy, it's kind of like the world Phoenix energy is being turned on inside of you. So things are going to start to move full speed ahead with the Knight of Swords. This is the energy that you're going to start to be in after you enjoy the sunset and think about the great moments that happened in this older cycle. It's kind of like, okay, let's go. Full speed ahead, temperance energy here, right? Because you've once again gotten that level of balance within your internal world, because you've matured to this new level, now you can now move forward at a quicker rate, more efficiently. The chariot energy is kind of here too, once again. Forward movement. Yeah. Yeah. You're moving forward on your path. All right. Hermit mode. Clarified by the high priestess. This is kind of where I feel like you were at. You were in the hermit mode position. The hermit, goes internal, goes into, the cave to upgrade, to revamp the ego, right? To shed certain layers of the ego. And the hermit and the high priestess is very similar, but the only thing is that the hermit goes on a journey into the cave, right into solitude, to kind of like draw from the inner wisdom, right? To evolve the ego. But the high priestess, she was always there, right? She is not going on no journey at all. She stays inside of the temple because she's the high priestess. And so this is the energy that you're shifting over to. Like the energy that you're finding has already been there. Kind of like Jean, right? She already was destined to be the Phoenix. She just didn't know it yet. She had to go on this journey first and learn herself and mature and, go through the different levels to tap into the high priestess energy. And this is where you're at. You're kind of like sitting into your intuition, into your true self, your authentic self, right? And becoming quite comfortable with it at the same time. Shedding those layers that were kind of like blocking you from being in your true power. You no longer need the training wheels anymore. This is kind of what's represented by the Four of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands. Those were your training wheels. Those were set up early on in life for you, because like I said, you didn't know how to maybe use your gifts all the way. But now the training wheels are coming off, Leo. High priestess. She knows who she is, right? She knows the secrets. She's tuned in, tapped in, plugged to the rug, right? This is the connect. You are the connect. So definitely this eclipse for you is bringing you closer to your power that has already been there. Your truer nature. We're ending it with the King of Wands energy, clarified by the Judgment. So you have a lot of major arcana cards that were here. King of Wands energy could be somebody that's coming into your sphere of influence, a fire sign that you possibly could be dealing with. But this is more so probably talking about the energy that you're moving forward in this newer cycle with. Because this is you, King of Wands, Leo, fiery energy. You've matured. The King of Wands is a mature fire energy, right? Who is ready to passionately pursue what he has his eyes set on. And nothing can get into this, in this king's way, honestly. He's clothed, right, with kind of like the abundance, that the upgrades, the stripes, the promotions. He's wearing it all. This is like the general moving forward, and it's all because of the awakening that you've had. The awakening process that you've been going through, where you were, you had to die off to certain things, then be rebirthed again, then die off to something else, and rebirthed again, and Dark Night of the Soul after Dark Night of the Soul, and lesson after lesson, until you awakened and continually awaken, right? Because these people look like all the same people to me. And this was you like phasing into different phases of yourself. Like, you were this person, then you had to be reborn into this person, then you had to shed this layer of the ego, then you had to awaken to this, place of yourself. And it's almost like you continually have been reborn until you got to this place right here. The mature Leo, who knows how to use their power and ability for good. Like, let's go. And this is not somebody that's, going to abuse their power. They're here to help. All right, so this is you, Leo. I'm going to end it right there. We're 32 minutes in. And if you did enjoy that reading, like always, like, share, subscribe, comment. And I will see you guys on the next reading. Later.